Why are meetings not productive? How many meetings have you been to and you're sitting there and halfway through you go, why are we here again? Or somebody said something needs to be done, but you have no clue who's going to do it. Is it you or somebody else? Or you're sitting there going, why did they invite me? Yeah, this has nothing to do with me. I don't need to do anything about that. So today I'm going to show you the top 3 reasons why meetings are not productive, and I'm going to show you how to SWYCit. My name is Sylvie Poitras. I am an efficiency coach. I help you take a closer look at your time-consuming tasks, and I help you find ways to simplify them. When you simplify them, it saves you time. When you save time, that means you have more time to spend with your current clients or going to get new clients, which means increased revenue. Or you might just want to have more time for yourself. In either case, it definitely reduces your stress level. So the top reason, I have 3 of them, and they're not in any particular order. But the first one today is there are no clear objectives. Yes, an agenda is good, but if it's not result-oriented, it's just something on paper that you follow. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. Recurrent meetings. They really need to have a purpose and objective. You don't just meet because we always meet on Tuesdays and nothing really happens. We just meet on Tuesdays. If it's just a meeting to give numbers or give results on something, can you do that by email instead of having everybody in a meeting? People that attend the meeting need to know what type of meeting it is before they get there. So is it going to be an information session? What that means is that you show up, you listen, you take notes, and there's going to be a question and answer period after. Or is it going to be an open discussion? And if it's an open discussion, then they're going to prepare to make sure that they have their questions or to know what topic it's going to be and if they have to discuss anything on there to add themselves. Or is it going to be a combination? It's going to be a discussion and information, and they're also going to have to present. Most of the meetings are like that. But it has to be clear on the agenda on who does what. We're going to talk about this, and so is going to do this. Surprising people is not productive. Not only are they not going to be ready to give you the information, they're also not going to be happy, because you put them on the spot in front of people. It's really not professional. So make sure everything is clear all the time. So how do you SWYCit the objectives of a meeting? Ask yourself, what result do I want to get from this meeting? The second reason why meetings are not productive is there's no set deadlines. You can't just say during the meeting, okay, so we're going to have to do X, Y, Z, and that's it. That's not enough. You have to set expectations. If you think that it's going to take about 3 hours to get the work done, and then you can say, well, I expect it's going to take 3 hours. So and so, would you like to do it? And can you have it done by next week? But the best way of doing it really is saying, I expect it's going to take about 3 hours, but it could be more. So what do you think it's going to be? And you can ask one person in particular, or you can ask everybody at large and see who answers. Somebody says, I think it's going to take 4 hours. Okay, do you have time to get that done before the next meeting? Done. Now you have to buy in as a person. They said how long it's going to take, and they're going to make sure they get it done during that time frame. And then you have to be mindful of who the tasks are assigned to. If you have very tight deadline, you want to make sure that you ask somebody that has experience so they can get it done in that time frame. If there's no tight deadlines, then the new person can do it, because they're going to learn how to do it, and it's a great time to do it when there's no tight deadlines. Not assigning the task appropriately is not productive, because if you get somebody that's new to do something at tight deadlines, or somebody that's too busy to get it done, then all it's going to do is that they're not going to have time to do it. It's only going to be half done, or it's going to have to be redone completely. So how do you SWYCit the deadlines? Make sure they're actionable and they're attainable in the time frame that you want. All right, the third reason why meetings are not productive. This could have been number one. Like I said earlier, I didn't put them in a particular order. It's not the right attendees. People are there and they shouldn't be there. So do they really look at your list? Do they really need to be there? Look at each person's role in the subject of the meeting. Do they have to contribute to it? If they're only there for information purposes, they could just join in a conference call and continue their work at the same time and listen in. The same thing with Teams or Zoom. They can attend and listen and not have their camera on. Or they can just get the minutes after. So just be careful. You don't want to waste people's time. If you do that too often, then they're not going to want to go to your meetings because it always wastes time for them. There's such a thing as too many people. If you have a large group of people, most likely it's because it's an information session. You have to tell everybody at the same time. So they're going to show up, take notes, and then they're going to ask their questions after. If you have too many people for the size of the room that you have, and it's not an information session, then you really have to take a look at your agenda and see who needs to be there. If they all need to be there and you have a long list of agenda, I guarantee you're probably not going to finish in 60 minutes. If you can't finish in 60 minutes, that means you have too much on your agenda. Cut it down. I've been to so many meetings where I only need to be there for the first 10 minutes. After that, I didn't need to be there. So I sat there for the whole hour while everybody talked about everything else that didn't apply to me at all. I know sometimes it's good to know the big picture, but it's not necessary all the time. So that was your top 3 reasons why meetings are not productive. So it was there are no clear goals or objectives, no deadline set for action items, and you don't have the right attendees. So be clear about the result that you want to get from the meeting and set attainable deadlines and only invite the people that need to be there. So if you like the information I gave you, make sure you click on like. If you know somebody that could really benefit from this information, make sure that you share the video. And there's also a PDF that's available with the topics that I covered. You just click in the text below. So if you have time-consuming tasks, you need to find ways to SWYCit them.